Hello everybody, this is LD7669. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown on the resources that Linux uses as a result of what you're currently doing. I have, as you see, my heartbeat right here for the computer. You have temperature for the motherboard. You have the physical, which I believe is just the overall, as well as each core of your processor and your graphics card and how much of your CPU is currently being used. Now, as you see, there's about 7 to 6% right here. That is very, very small, considering I am uploading a video to YouTube and recording my desktop environment at the same time. And I have Steam running also. So what is the main attribute of Linux that gives it its strength? Multitasking. If you try to do all this stuff in Windows 7 or Windows 8, it would probably crash or bog down so slow it is not even funny. But as you can see, I am not even using 6% of my CPU. So anybody who thinks that Linux is not appropriate for a desktop environment really should take another look at Linux, because it is not just for data centers. You can use it just as well in a desktop environment for a personal computer, and it does not cost a cent. Now, when I say it does not cost a cent, that does not mean you cannot donate or help the people who have basically put their time and effort into it. If you go to Ubuntu.com and click on download, you can get Ubuntu for your desktop, and you go ahead and choose which one you want. You can even get it for Mac, 64-bit, and click on download, and they will give a suggested contribution which you pay with PayPal. But if you so desire, we can just move these all to 0. And it is now nothing, for free, and you can click on download, which I'm not going to do since I already have it, but you can click on download and get it for free, and you basically have it for free. Now, when people say that Linux is not effective as a desktop environment, I kind of smile a little bit, because as you can see here, if I were to do all this stuff in Windows, there is no way I could have such a low percentage. Windows 7 and Windows 8 are resource hogs. The direction that Microsoft has decided to go in is to use more and more and more of your computer's resources. Well, as you can see with Linux, there's hardly any resources being used at all. So consider that. And as well as Linux, of course, being wonderful in a networking environment, you can go in with one Linux disk and install that with that one Linux disk into 20, 30, 50, 100 computers. It does not matter. Linux does not use keys. It is free and open source, and probably will continue until forever. Besides extolling other virtues of Linux, it is very easy to go in and get free open source software anytime you like with the Ubuntu Software Center. You can get games, books, educational, graphics, stuff for internet, office, science, sound, system, and guess what? They don't cost you a dime. If I were to do any of this stuff in Windows, guess how much they would charge the software to be able for you to use it? Probably quite a bit. As you can see, even the pay programs are very, very cheap. $10 or less tends to be the average. I don't understand why people are so against Linux as an operating system. It is a wonderful operating system for the desktop environment. One of my good friends, Rudy, got me into it, and ever since then I have been in love with this operating system because, well, you can do everything that Windows can do and sometimes even more. If people think that Linux is not up to the times, well, I think you're mistaken, because you have not done research or even looked into Linux for the desktop lately, because with trusty tar, Ubuntu 14.04, it can do practically everything Windows can do, and sometimes even more, especially if you're a programmer or someone who likes to push the envelope a little bit. there is things you can get like compilers which cost around $800 if you want to get into it for Windows. So consider open source, consider Linux. It's a better way to go than Windows, in my honest opinion. And for those of you who are Mac lovers, remember Linux is practically the same programming code as Mac. Actually, they're pretty much brother and sister, so it's kind of moot to argue about Mac being better than Linux or whatever. It's really a Ford versus Chevy argument, so just keep that in mind. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.